You know, it's always an exciting week. Believe me, I think on both campuses, on both schools, both programs, the opportunity to play in a rivalry game that has a lot at stake, obviously, with us both being in the same division. They're an awfully good football team. I think they've come a long way from early in the season as far as from an offensive perspective. I think Connor Cook's done a nice job. I think their whole offense has really taken off, and you can see it. And you know, we pay attention obviously throughout the year, but really they're a football team. Their defense is as good as any, and that's going to be a big challenge for us. Playing up in East Lansing is always a little bit of a challenge. I think anytime you play away from home, it just is part of it, with making sure as a team that our focus, our discipline, and all those things have to be spot on for us to go out there and compete at our highest level. That's what we need to do, and we're excited. It's going to be a fun week.
That level of physicality indeed.
Well, you hope your team does the same thing. I mean, but I think, you know, we've been inconsistent in that department. So they all know, the guys who've been here, I think there was 27 of them who were there in East Lansing 2 years ago, which isn't a whole lot, but they understand that it's a physical next 5 weeks, and it starts with the physicalness that Michigan State will play with.
Brady, you talked a little bit about it, the stakes in terms of the division to win this game, to stay in the hunt, to get to the championship game. You talked about that.
Well, yeah, I mean, number one, you know, it's such the passion for this football game by Spartans and Wolverines is something that you, as a coach or a competitor, you understand that and you look forward to it. And the other part of it, the piece of the puzzle, is that it is an important football game when you look at where we want to be and where they want to be at the end of November.
When you looked at this matchup, was there a specific area on your team that you thought most needed to improve your chances to win against Michigan State?
I think our special teams need to get much better. I don't think we've punted the ball as well as we need to. I don't think we've covered at times the way we need to. Big plays defensively. Can't give up those big plays, and you can't have those lapses. From an offensive standpoint, you know, you always want to be able to have a running game and count on the guys up front being physical at the line of scrimmage and getting Fitz or whoever it might be in the backfield started.
Brady, if you're right here. With the way Michigan State likes to, you know, attack those A gaps and blitz up the middle, I would assume you're going to find out what those two guards are kind of made of after this game. Bosch and Angus.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt. I think you know, those two guys, and the good thing is there's 9 other guys out there with them. Believe me, there's some other guys who will be there for the first time in you know, more significant roles than maybe they were before. So I think how we handle their defense, their front seven, how we get off bump coverage and all those things, or you know, as tight as they play. You know, those are all things we're going to learn. You know, I'd like to know a little bit more before, but that's not going to be the case.
Well,
because I didn't understand the last part.
Antonio doesn't like Michigan. How do you feel about Michigan State?
Well, we don't necessarily like them either. I mean, this is an admiration society, you know. I mean, it's a great rivalry. You got two teams that, I don't know, 45 miles apart. I don't know, that might be not enough, but it's what it is.
Brady, Pack here. Is there a concern in that it certainly sounds like you are hoping that your players appreciate the need to be very physical in this game instead of knowing that they're going to be the type of physical team that you need?
Yeah, I would say this in answering that. I think there's a lot of guys who have played a lot of snaps. They understand it. You know, there's some new guys, a couple true freshmen, that haven't played in this magnitude of a game. But you look at the back half of our schedule, it's all physical. Every game's got to be a physical game. And I think from that standpoint, yeah, there are some guys who don't know it yet. And I think they're learning. I think they've learned in the last couple practices.
But how uneasy does that make you as the head coach?
It really-
That you have to hope that...
Well, I'm not hoping. It's not hope. I don't know if hope's the right word. But I think it's more of us educating guys who haven't played in that environment.